Always on the news, I hear people complaining about immigration, the problems at the border. It's often an interesting conversation that I have at a dinner table when I meet new people and they ask me what I do. And I tell them, everything that's happening on the border, well, I actually represent those people in immigration cases. And oftentimes it brings up a sometimes heated discussion of what people believe are the problems with U.S. immigration and what's our requirements as Americans and what are we supposed to do. And it comes to mind this recent story that I had where my team and I represented an Ethiopian citizen who escaped Ethiopia because he was suffering extreme torture at the hands of the Ethiopian government. He is part of an Ethiopian clan, a tribe inside Ethiopia that the government is actually attempting to commit a sort of genocide and eradicate them from the earth. And basically, him and his two brothers, one brother has already been killed, and he and his other brother have been tortured. Most recently, he was put in prison and he was tortured, probably too disgusting to describe. He eventually fled, unable to get a visa, unable to apply for refugee. He came to the United States undocumented, he crossed the border, he was detained, and because of President Biden's rule where he wasn't eligible to apply for asylum because of the way he attempted to enter, he's only eligible to apply for a lesser type of withholding or removal. We were able to show through medical evidence and through testimony and other types of physical evidence that in fact he was tortured, and if he was removed from this country, it's more than likely that he'd be sentenced to death. And so oftentimes when I describe a situation like that to someone, people are like, oh, well, yeah, that makes sense. We definitely should help those people. And I think that with the news and sensationalism and the way that the politics are in the country, people forget that these are human beings coming to this country, Oftentimes I think, if my neighbor had a house that was burning, what would I do? Would I sit down and do nothing because I don't want to risk a limb in my own life? I believe as a human being, that's my duty, is to help people who are in need. And so furthermore, as an immigration attorney, it's my job to protect people who are asking for help and asking for guidance from a country of tyranny. And I think that we as a whole, as a human race, have that duty. I don't get into the whole political spectrum of figuring out what's right or wrong. I just know that when someone is in need, this is something that I'm willing to do. And for my clients, it's been beneficial for people who are in need. So this is what we do here in Baton Rouge. This is what we do as immigration attorneys all across the country.